Hello people, this is part 2 to my parental alienation video, and I think I'm going to call this one Parental Alienation, the reason why my children got no presents for their birthday. I want to do this video because I like to use my own experience to tell people about how these issues work, such as narcissism. As you know, I told you about the false allegations of rape that my ex made against me in order to cover up the fact that she was having affairs with people within a group called Manchester, Capoeira, Angola, or you can switch those words around. I can never remember which order it goes in for some reason. They are from Manchester, but they've got nothing to do with Angola, and that's another topic. This is parental alienation. So one of the things to do with parental alienation is how things can be used, anything can be used with the children that is important in the children's life in order to alienate the parent, the absentee parent, by the alienator, who in my experience is a narcissist. And I'd like to tell you about an experience to do with me trying to get presents to my children. For a short time during the time that I've been in the family courts, I had Skype access. And again, Skype access was stopped because of allegations made about how I was using the Skype access. So I used to have Skype every 2 weeks, and during this time, my children had asked me for, well, my son had asked me for a gaming computer. And then shortly after that, my beautiful daughter said to me, "Dad, you know I want a computer too." And I thought, okay, no problem. It's my pleasure to give my daughter a computer, and it's my pleasure to give my son a computer too. But the family courts and the mother of my children had set up a situation where I couldn't send anything to my children. I had an address for letters and so forth, but I wasn't going to send computers, each costing £700, to an address that I'd not known. And to be honest, I wanted to enjoy the fact that I was giving my children presents so that I could see the joy that they had in receiving something that they had asked for. So foolishly, I went to their school. Well, I went to the school with my son's computer, and I waited. This was in the morning. I waited and I tried to get the attention of my son when I saw them, telling him that I had his present for him. It was wrapped up as a present would be, with the, wrapping paper and so forth. It was heartbreaking because both my children walked past me, and at the time I thought that they didn't want to speak to me. Later, and as I've said in other videos, I've been able to get police reports. Now, the mother of my children knew what I was doing, and she knew that my children wanted computers. However, what she did when she knew I was trying to get the computers to my children, I'd just like to say a thing here as well. Now, the mother of my children is putting forward the idea that I'm a danger to my children, and that's why she's protecting them from me. However, statements like this say an awful lot, because being a narcissist, the mother of my children zeroed in on herself and said that I was stalking her and harassing her. Didn't know about this police report at the time, and neither do my children know about this police report. However, I'm going to read some of the statement to you all. This is coming from the mother of my children, by the way. On Friday the 6th of October 2017, at approximately 6:45 hours, my children and I got off the local bus on Fisher Hill Gate in Broadgate, Preston, to walk my children to school. Straight away my attention was drawn to somebody shouting out my son's name. I immediately recognised the voice of Mr. Dowie, and I was very scared. I told the children to ignore him, and we carried on walking up Laundrette Street. But he followed us up, halfway up, and then he realised he was being ignored. He stopped. He was shouting about a laptop for my son's birthday, and he had a case with him, which is what he used to carry his PA system round when he was street performing. This is totally true. I use the case that I carry my PA in to carry the laptop. It's a big laptop here. As I say, it's a gaming computer, so it's not a laptop exactly, it's a desktop, big mount and stuff, very colourful thing. Children love these gaming things. So, knowing that all I was doing was trying to get a present to my son, she tried to have me arrested. Now, I wasn't questioned about this because the police obviously thought that nobody stalks somebody carrying a present for their son. So this is one of the incidents that went under the radar. But my point here is this. Now actually knowing what was going on, and her intention was to have me arrested so that my children would never have these presents. And that would buy into the narrative that I don't care about them. I promised them presents, but did I deliver on them? No, I didn't deliver on them. Well, in this case, I did deliver on them. But if the narrative had been played out the way she wanted it to be played out, I would have been arrested for stalking and harassment. And then those children would have never got the computers. And the narrative that I didn't care enough would have been able to be put in place. Now, the reason why I say this, and the reason why I've gone into this, is because from the children's point of view, not knowing that any of this was done, all they would remember is me trying to get to them, their mother claiming that she was protecting them, them never having any presents for their birthday days, and then the narrative could have been told to them that, oh, he just doesn't care about you. He promised you, but then he broke the promise. So again, this video is hopefully showing people that, you know, when they're going through stuff where the alienator is using anything within their life, it could be a game, a football game that your child is supposed to be meeting at you at, and you've been told that they're going to be playing at this field when in fact they're at another field. You're waiting there. Somebody else's, your child is somewhere else, and then they're being told that you just couldn't be bothered. These are the games that are played by, you know, people, narcissistic people, alienators. And over a period of time, what happens with the child is that the child starts to take the side of the, which is natural, you know, starts to take the side of the alienator and starts to, through the pain that they've been inflicted with, starts to hate the absentee parent, which is the victim, essentially. This is a very short video and I'm going to wrap it up. But one of the things I'd like to say to wrap it up is the fact that even my attendance at a Parental Alienation Day, which was this year, sorry. I'm looking ahead to the next one so much that I'm already thinking it's a new year and we could get on with another one. One of the things that was done was that the mother of my children told the courts that I'd been at this rally stirring up people in order to make them think negatively about parents like her. Now, the thing that I'd like to reiterate is this to parents that have been alienated. It's very easy to hold resentment for your alienator, for the person that is trying to destroy the bond between you and your children. It's very easy. But what I would like to say is this: you must remember that if you start to hate the alienator, in this case the mother of your children, or in my case the mother of my children, then you're buying into their narrative. You're buying into the fact that you're beginning to abuse the children then. Because by hating the mother of your children, you're hating an aspect of your children. Because don't forget, both the mother and the father is within those two children. Or within the children. I keep saying two because I have two children. So yeah, and it would be horrendous for you to start seeing your children at some stage and then you're kind of doing the reverse then. You're trying to indoctrinate the children to hate their mother. This is terrible. Can you imagine the kind of destruction that would come to the children if that was to happen? So for parents that are alienated, like myself, you must find ways of not being resentful to the alienator. Now, I'm taking court action against the mother of my children, which sounds like I'm trying to attack her, but not really, because the thing is this. The court action is because of the allegations that have had a really detrimental effect on my life. And I don't believe that those allegations will ever stop. And I think that rather than just becoming angry and bitter at those allegations, you fight them. So I'm not necessarily fighting the mother, I'm fighting the allegations, because I know that those allegations were the things that stopped me from doing a master's degree. And I don't believe that somebody with that kind of negative intention towards me and towards my children will ever stop. So the reason why I'm taking the court action is to empower myself, really. Empower myself in the court process, and also bring a halt to the negativity that is coming into my life. So I encourage anybody who has evidence, like I do. I mean, this is just, in fact, if I was to open this drawer down here, there's tons of evidence. Tons of evidence. In the family court proceedings at the moment, the corrupt barristers and the corrupt judges and the corrupt Kafkas are trying to not go to the police in order to get more evidence that will show that over a 10 years period of time, the mother of my children lied consistently, bringing forth allegations that were just used to really destroy me as a person. They haven't worked, by the way. I'm stronger now than I was then. And that's what every parent can say who has been alienated. If they don't focus on fight, they focus on building themselves up and highlighting the things that are happening within the family court. The next video I make is going to be about Kafkas. And I think I'm going to call it Kafkas, the nature of the beast. For now, signing out. I'll see you soon.